the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
John Dramani Mahama appointment a omeki nino kasa die ebi etimi everyone vetting nso ebi go so one eko na yebeka ya last week na Sam Jata George etimi ekokopie committee no anim na afi Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa ono de Ghana had the onim bibia especially at the bonibia obia ye bia Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa say ono de onim na yebeka ya before kra na NDC amanyoku nya nwini election no na Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa mo de ba betu da say one atimi ati ekuo bi ayefre ne team ora mino eka say die aban asase ana aban japade ba bi afa bia led by Okujeto Ablakwa one ebekwa akọ jini nyina ana enya asem koto ana sa one one edit team ora nanim na busuafo ya de say one cra de one properties one ukopie mu ewo airport hills cantonment enom ya de a eni na enya asem koto ana no na Afenyo Markin say edu ba bi no na afi one power nchew say enyoma bi wo ho on consider na yenkoti Alexander Afenyo Markin.
You ask others a lot of questions and no questions of others. For those of us who live in Accra, I've read sentiments across social media that the decision not to ask a single question of the Greater Accra Regional Minister nominee was not the best. Why did you not ask her any question?
If you ask, problem. If you don't ask, problem.
But if you're putting the same hat on one person, put the same hat on so that the cotton board doesn't.
If you ask, they came begging.
Who came begging?
They.
Who is they?
They came begging that the woman could not stand the scrutiny. So we just let her go.
Sincerely.
I've just answered you.
But has that done a service to the people in Greater Accra region?
You should judge it.
If the minority
at least
folded on that request.
No, we decided to let it be, but their side should have asked questions.
So why did you allow that plea to hold?
Well, they are begging that the person cannot stand the heat.
So on this particular stance, you yielded?
Well, because obviously she's a widow. She's not. They say she's a widow. They say the woman, cannot stand the scrutiny. Had some other challenges, so we let it go.
On this matter.
After all, she qualifies under Article 78, so we let it go.
Two, this issue of looting. MFA, I pray that we get a full day to talk about this so-called looting.
Okay.
Anybody who commits a crime must face the law. I will not say that because of politics, somebody who has committed a crime will not face the law. But if you go to cantonment, you go to chain homes, the entire chain homes was a state land that a private developer acquired from the state. Why is the so-called ORA not interested in going to chain homes to question all the property owners that you have looted?
Okay.
If you go to cantonment, all these huge apartments owned by the Turkish, the Lebanese, Syrians, Indians, British, American, all investors from all parts of the world, including Ghanaians, own properties in cantonment, rich, Roman rich, and all. You know, when Mr. Ablakwa was talking about looting, there were some big men behind him, who I know own state lands at Ridge.
Okay.
Huge acreage.
But these are things you do not
Hold on. Look, menu boy kakro.
Okay.
Nsem-Pii na waka. Bojatu masa. Nsem-Pii na nimpa eduwenwa eduwanoka. They are acting childish. And they are creating an impression that they are righteous. That is why they cannot boldly say that they own a property at Airport Hills. That is why they say my wife takes care of me. I am a tenant.
Who is the fight? Who are you talking about?
MFA, who in this country will stay at Airport Hills and rent that place you build to own? The covenant in the agreement is that it's owner occupation. they won't allow you
To rent.
to rent.
Okay. Well, we are wrapping up, at least really out.
Ghana, the former leader of my party. So I sit there, watch you, insult him, and go away. No, no politicians will do that. Now let's deal with Mr. Ablakwa.
Yes.
Ablakwa is one person I respect so much. We share the same esprit de corps. He's somebody, we entered parliament together. He knows what is between the two of us. Some of his designer suits, I will ask him, Ablakwa, show me the design, I'll go and buy. He wears nice shoes. He dresses well, a gentleman, dressing, whatever. We relate well. Before his vetting, I asked Ablakwa whether we didn't sit as brothers. I said, Sammy, there were things that you went overboard. I think if you make concessions, we'll be fine. Is that okay? Meanwhile, I was aware that this is Aura, guys, have been flying drones in Winneba on my property. I kept quiet. I managed it. They've been flying. They go to my beachfront property. They mounted a drone. They flew it from the community center just by the Nshona. Okay? And my boys saw it. I told them, ignore. When government changes, people do all manner of things. They went to my White House, the one at the veterinary area, flew, checking
Winneba as well.
Winneba. In Ablakwa, you'll be there and you'll be seeing drones. In the morning, the policemen have been seeing it. They tell me, I said, ignore. Sometimes early in the morning, we see that behind the rail line. But I know that it is spying my house. What is the business of drones in the minority leaders' house? Meanwhile, I've lived in my Ablakwa residence for over 20 years. My firstborn is 21. I lived there before having given birth to Ian. Is that okay? My residence in Winneba, I've had my properties. All these years, I'm a businessman. I am a well-established person. All these properties.
Are you able to respond to people who have also started questioning that, at least by the calculations they are making, you must have been 21 before acquiring that particular property? What were you doing amongst them?
Don't worry. Let's get there.
Maybe briefly on that.
No, not briefly. It's an important thing. Don't say briefly. When we finished school, 1997, we had to stay home for 2 years. So I came to hustle in Accra. Through the hustling and schooling, I found my way at Ghana Post. So I was working as a post boy. Rose through the ranks to principal post officer. I was given a scholarship to go and study at Kivas. When I went to Kivas, 99, got in 2001, before I'd come into office. In July, when we vacated, I didn't go back to school because there was a career counseling and they introduced us into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I abandoned school. My colleagues know. I left Kivas at level 300. Okay? I didn't go back to school. I abandoned school to come and chase money. I bought my first Mercedes, my BMW. I still have those old cars packed.
Okay.
MFI, you must hear this. You brought it. Even if it is the last minute.
You.
No, you are not done.
But we've heard you.
No, you want to know. Please get the facts. And I started running my business. I had my wedding at age 23. My wife was 22. Is that okay? I started running Excel Courier, a multi-million-dollar investment. StanChart gave me $5 million facility. Barclays Bank gave me $10 million facility.
Now you're sounding like you may be bragging.
I'm not, because you need to know the fact.
Yes, I need to know.
I am saying that at a younger...
But how do you respond to criticism?
Do you want us to have a conversation?
At least, I don't want to go through
you
all
said that some people said, how did I acquire? I wasn't in public service. Wait, you said some people are saying I was too young.
Of course,
and I'm saying that,
questions.
Sure, I will answer.
But you've answered.
Though I was not in public service, I started business early. I've worked for Guinness. My trucks were doing work for Diamond Cement from Tablibo to Togo to Aflawo to Bupe. My tankers haul from Ivory Coast all the way to Jos Plateau.
We can't go through all the things
my
you've
business
done.
In Awaso
How do you then respond? At least, let's go back to the
I am not one of those people who would come in and say, I'm not a tenant. I am a landlord. I'm not somebody who will buy property and put it in somebody's name. I won't do it.
Okay.
I will never do it. It is my bona fide.
Yes.
And I am proud of my work. as a businessman. It's the reason why I didn't go into government. The reason why I told my regional minister when we won power 2017 that said, because of my business, I won't go. It's the reason why even in 2021, Kennedy Japan fought me that we are still Kwaji Interior Minister, I was a wompe. We are still Kwaji Health Minister, I was a wompe. Me say, because I'm running my private business.
Okay.
I want to run my business. I don't want to go into government. I would want to get into government when I'm in my late 50s or in my 60s. At that time,
and you're living that dream now. That's
I would have settled in.
Let's talk a bit more.
I just need you to understand.
Mr. Minority Leader, I've heard you.
No, let me conclude.
Okay.
I would hear you. Let me conclude. The gentleman brought a search report and created the impression that my land in Winneba are state land. With the greatest respect,
we've checked on that.
You've checked, and what was your outcome?
What I'm saying, at least that land is not a state land. At least, I would give my producers that, so we put that.
I would end it.
But I would want to find out, back to the vetting or appointments committee.
Right, that's what you have told us.
If I should answer the question fully,
that is what you have told us.
I don't remember saying that.
You don't remember saying that?
I told you that motives.
Is that mental fatigue?
That's not mental fatigue. That's
right. Hold it.
Statement. I said motives differ.
You will be coming when you are not a member of parliament. You are not an elected member of parliament. But when you become a deputy minister, you will not be a stranger in parliament. It means that you'll be considered as a member of parliament. Right?
Yes, and I'll feel honored, yes.
Come again?
I'll feel honored.
You'll feel honored. You'll come to learn as per our rules of procedure. And for your elucidation, let me quote Order 93. 2. It shall be out of order to use offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming words, or to impute improper motives to any other member, or to make personal allusions. You come to learn that. And you come to learn that street language is different from parliamentary language. And may I suggest to you that you take a cue from this order. If Parliament should give you the prior approval, and the President should subsequently swear you in as Deputy Minister, that you will abide by this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I know for a fact that within Parliament there are things that are considered not to be parliamentary. But I also know for a fact that very many parliamentarians outside of Parliament use exactly some of the languages you say, you call it street. They use that.
It is a committee of Parliament. The Chairman, may I remind the nominee that he is before a committee of Parliament, and bellicosity and belligerence will not be tolerated.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know what you call bellicosity or belligerence. What I've done is simply
I quoted our rules to you. I quoted our rules to you. And I asked you in simple language whether you will abide by this. I quoted Order 93(2) to you, that it shall be out of order to use offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming words, or to impute improper motives to any other member, or to make personal allusions. Now, going by what the Honorable Ambrose Derry told you, you want to delve into the motives of people who made contributions to this statement and situate them. However you are going to investigate the motives, nobody knows. And I'm asking a simple question. Are you going to abide by this?
Clearly, every person who is in Parliament abides by the rules of Parliament. So within Parliament, I certainly will abide by it. But the truth will still be said, and that will be said if it's outside of the floor of Parliament, that will not be considered unparliamentary.
But this is Parliament.
I'm talking to you in Parliament.
This is Parliament.
We are within the presence of Parliament, and the Committee of Parliament is an extension of Parliament. Do you understand that?
I completely agree. That's what I said within Parliament. I certainly will abide by those rules.
But outside Parliament, you are at liberty to behave the way you think.
I think different rules apply in different places. What is considered to be truthful outside of Parliament may be considered unparliamentary in Parliament. So within Parliament, I certainly will abide by the rules of using parliamentary, what you call expression. But outside of Parliament, if it's the truth, I would say so, yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, the nominee.
He wants to make a point.
The nominee, without doubt, would have applied himself or vetted his mind again to Article 41D of our Constitution, which obliges every citizen to respect the rights, freedoms, and legitimate interests of others, and generally to refrain from doing acts detrimental to the welfare of others, including, you agree with me that? You agree with me?
I do.
Mr. Chairman, the nominee is on record to have said that Data Bank financed Nana Akufo-Addo's campaign, and he is alleged to have made a categorical statement inviting clients of the bank to go for their monies. Is that true?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have never made any statement regarding Data Bank. Never. Possibly, maybe you are confusing me with another person who made that.
That is why I use the word alleged. So you didn't say it. Mr. Chairman, the nominee in the business of setting the record straight has been categorical that the MPP manipulated the judiciary, would manipulate the judiciary to take seats which have been won by the NDC in the event of Nana Akufo-Addo winning the presidency. Do you have any evidence to support that claim?
Much, Mr. Chairman. It all depends on your appreciation of what manipulation is. As far as I'm concerned, manipulation is what happens when you lose a case and you set into motion every process to be able to reverse that case. Manipulation for me is what exactly took place in 2002 when MPP lost the fast track court case in the case against Shikata, and it set into motion the process to reverse it by packing the Supreme Court. For me, that is my expression of manipulation. And I think I was not alone in that, because I think NEPAD